The critical socialization period is the most important time of all for a puppy to get socialized. And it happens between 3 and 16 weeks old. I'm Zach George, I'm a dog trainer.
And I'm Bree.
We've got a new puppy, and if you've got a new puppy, definitely subscribe to our channel. We're gonna teach you everything we know about training a puppy, and keep in mind, we always use modern science-based methods that take into account a dog's mental well-being long-term. By puppy socialization, we're talking about how to teach dogs how to react favorably to the world they live in, people and animals. But one of the most controversial issues as it relates to puppy socialization is, can you socialize your dog before they're fully vaccinated? Check this out. Can you tell me some safe places to socialize a puppy before they're fully vaccinated? As puppy parents, it's really important for us to arm ourselves with the best information available. And the app Fuzzy makes this shockingly easy. And this is good. See, Fuzzy agrees that showing them lots of things, number one, around the home and in familiar places, is a great place to start the socialization process. And you should avoid places that are frequented by other dogs regularly. And remember, socialization isn't just about dogs, it's about getting them acclimated to the world in general. So it's like you're getting live, real veterinary professionals in your pocket. You can ask them your most important questions and get quality answers virtually instantly. Every time I've done this, it's been under a minute wait time. There's a million situations out there where it's impractical to get to your regular vet instantly like this. All of you can get 7 free days to try this out, ask as many questions as you'd like, and see if it's worth it for you. Get a free 7-day trial at yourfuzzy.com/Zach, link below.
Veronica's first thunderstorm was eventful. Here's the thing, I had night duty with Veronica, and of course that's the night a huge thunderstorm rolls through.
If you know anything about dogs, you'll know that thunderstorms can go any number of ways with any number of dogs.
I feel like there's one way it often goes.
Yeah, fear of thunderstorms, loud noises, fireworks, things like that are definitely something that we can work to prevent, hopefully, in a lot of cases.
I hope so. So this thunderstorm came and Veronica seemed super borderline. She was pretty unsure about the lightning and the downpour, and I know that I really want to avoid her getting any more nervous of storms like this if I can help it. So I thought it might be a good idea to let her go outside and see the lightning and rain a little better.
Risky move.
I know, I was pretty nervous about it. If this goes wrong and she gets really scared while she's out there, it could set us back a lot.
It's okay. Yes, good girl. That's so great.
She was nervous of the lightning. She barked a little bit at it. Even the lightning more than the thunder, I think. But once I let her out here, she seems okay with it. I mean, you know, kind of. She's acting weird. But I don't think she's totally scared.
I'd say overall that went pretty well. But let's not forget, she definitely still had a reaction to the thunderstorm that resembled more anxiety and fear than not, even though you were able to quell that anxiety. But we're seeing it kind of in a number of areas now with the lawn people who come and do our lawn.
Pretty much every random sound, especially at night.
That's true. So she's a super sound sensitive dog. So I do have a little bit of concern, like maybe we're gonna have an extraordinary time trying to resolve this with her.
I'm a little concerned too.
So we can't let our guard down on anything even resembling socialization at all right now. I mean, it's clear, we've gotta be on offense. We have to give her lots of socialization, quality socialization experiences right now while really balancing her mental state throughout the whole process the best that we can.
Easier said than done.
I think a lot of people think of socialization as exclusively socializing their dogs with other dogs, but it's so important to remember that socializing is about exposing them to everything they're likely to experience in their life. And for most dogs, meeting other dogs is just a small part of that. So we've been proactive about giving Veronica as many positive new experiences as we can. We introduce her to lots of patient-friendly new people, and she's doing great with that so far. We're bringing her to new places as often as we can. Things that you know your dog is likely to experience in their life, like the vet, for example, are extra important to make sure that your dog feels comfortable with. And one of the best ways to do that is to make sure that you're not waiting until your dog has to go to the vet to be poked and prodded. For example, we had to take Inertia to the vet to have her stitches removed after she was spayed, and our vet encouraged us to bring Veronica along as well so that she could have an amazing experience just watching things go on. She could get an association with the staff that was positive.
A lot of sounds going on here.
Yeah. You hear all those sounds, huh? Lots of sounds going on. Relax. It's normal. What even are you? Just look at you. Will you look at you? You look ridiculous.
She looks like a meerkat.
She does look like a meerkat. Inertia at the vet is like, if I am still enough and flat enough, maybe they won't notice me. So.
Even if you don't have another pet, your vet is probably very happy to let you come in and give your dog a positive experience at the vet. Just make sure you ask first.
Recently, we went to a shop to make a modification to my new truck. Veronica got to see and experience some new things. Of course, she got to hear lots of sounds. We know that she's very sensitive to that.
Yes.
It was really interesting to see, too, when we were at the shop, that Veronica seemed to really generalize her house training. In other words, she almost seemed to let you know that she had to go outside.
She did. Oh, I was so glad.
I mean, that is amazing.
This looks like what she does when she has to go potty. She jumps on me, sniff. I feel like it's imminent.
Yeah,
So we're gonna go outside.
Good job.
Ready? Let's go. She did bark like once before I started the camera, but it's really quick. She doesn't give us that many signs.
And that's relevant because in new places, dogs are more likely to have accidents because they haven't generalized it. And so, not a good idea to let your guard down, but fortunately, Veronica seems to be excelling at house training so far.
So far, I ought to be so careful with that one.
She's looking at the cars, but she doesn't seem scared of them, even when they're loud. That's good. Yes! Good girl. You did it. That's called go poop.
One of my favorite socialization hacks is going in the car and rolling the windows down or just like cracking them, because you can start to let sounds trickle in without overwhelming your dog, and you can like roll it back up if it seems like it's too much. I think that's a really awesome quick hack.
We're just hanging out in the car with the windows down, letting her hear the outdoors. She's dreaming. It's really cute.
So I tried that at the car lot, and she actually seemed really fine. I was excited that we finally found one place she wasn't barking at.
Yeah, I knew you jinxed yourself that time, though.
Hey, it's okay. It's my dad. You want to sniff him? There you go.
That's what we're supposed to do.
He's normal.
The ultimate goal, though, isn't just about letting your dog experience new things. The ultimate goal is getting them to behave calmly in those situations.
I've noticed a lot of times with her barking outbursts, if I actually give her more access, it calms her down faster than trying to be like, here's a treat, look at me.
If you can give them enough time to actually start to relax in new places, that's when you're really taking your socialization to the next level. Calm behavior around new things is a great sign of a well-adjusted, well-socialized dog. I was also recently working with Veronica in the backyard on basic training and stuff, and I was hoping to do some Frisbee training with her. You want to play or not? It didn't go as I was hoping it would go. And this is what we often experience when we're doing videos like this. You have a lesson planned for your dog, and they're not so into it. Ah, there we go, there's a spark. And so you have to be patient with them. Yeah, good. Hey, that was awesome. I think go. Oh my goodness. Come on. This Frisbee is a bit big for her. That's all right. That's why we have her on lead. We don't want this habit of her walking away from me to get established here. So, good. Here, get it. Take it. There it is. Yeah, good. Here we go. Let's really work on tug. See how she's running past me? She really wants it to herself. So I really want to teach her, look, I'm not after taking your toy away forever. You can still enjoy it. Go. So, teaching tug and letting them win like that, get it, is a good way to communicate that. Good, get it. Maybe become a bigger part of the game. Because right now it looks like she just wants to go take it and chew. Good girl. Oh my goodness. So I was like, okay, fine. She's not really into Frisbee. Let me see if I can still get some value out of this training lesson. Maybe she will find treats more reinforcing. And this is the kind of troubleshooting we have to do as trainers all the time. Like, what's reinforcing to your dog at that given moment? What do they like? Because their moods change all the time. Now, I switched up my currency. Maybe she's not in the mood to play. Maybe she's in the mood to eat, and that she might find that more reinforcing. Let's find out. Veronica! She's been coming to me when I call her in that tone, so I don't want to overdo it. She looks like she's thinking about it. I don't know if you can see her in the shot, but she's down there. And so even that wasn't really getting her on the same page with me as far as training in that moment. And so I did try to squeeze at least one small little victory out of that training session. Yes! And I got a successful, or reluctantly successful, come when called. Maybe it's a superstition, but I really think it's valuable to try to end on a positive note with a training session.
I think so.
No, all done? Fine. So I thought there was a lot of value in sharing this with you because even for me, a professional trainer, okay, well, try again later. If the dog's not into it sometimes, or you're having a hard time inspiring them to be into it, or maybe it's you, maybe you're not doing something to be exciting enough or interesting enough to your dog, it's okay to take time, revisit it, even later that day, and see how things go.
Yeah, not forcing it was a really valuable lesson that you taught me really early on. All right, new experience time. We have a backyard right on the lake where the water brings in new smells and other things. I know the smells and the textures out there are different from the last time we took a walk.
Yeah, the world's changing every day.
So I want to give her a chance to see what she can see on the beach.
Just taking a free walk. She's having a lot of fun. As you can see, she's super excited about this little sand pit. It's got garbage in it, but okay, don't eat the garbage, enjoy the sand.
I've been doing one-on-one walks with Veronica without Zak or Inertia because I really want to take the time to bond with her by myself. And we see new things every time we take a walk.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Go, 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 go. Yay, good girl. Good job.
A lot of dogs are reactive towards things like bicycles, so we have some really good chances to give her exposure to that and reinforce calm behavior when she acts more desirably.
Smart.
Good job.
But can we talk about how Veronica is doing with other animals? She did have a pretty good start to socialization while she was in foster care. She was around her litter mates, she was around a few other dogs during that time, so that's good. Veronica and our older dog Inertia are doing pretty well together, and they're trending in the right direction. However, they're not still total best friends yet, but I think they're on their way.
I think they're on their way.
I think they just became best friends.
Although Veronica still has this desire to chew on anything she can get her teeth on. One of her favorite items at the moment seems to be iPhones.
At least I have a good case.
Excuse me.
Most people don't want to get rid of
Veronica shall be bananas. You can't chew on my phone.
Okay, so she, in general, seems to be doing well with other dogs, our own included, but cats is kind of a wild card. I know you have been taking the lead with Angela and Veronica.
When are cats not a wild card?
I know.
Angela is very accustomed to coming downstairs to socialize with me in the evenings, just for a few hours. It's like her thing that she does, and she is not about to let Veronica stand in the way of her evening ritual.
She's nice. Can't just chase her though.
Veronica is a really playful puppy, and she clearly wants to chase Angela. This is one of the reasons I'm keeping her on leash, one of many reasons.
And the great thing about the leash, you're managing her, so you're keeping it from escalating, so at least this desire to chase the cat isn't getting established.
They still definitely have a long way to go, because this is kind of off and on, but it really seems like over time Veronica is learning that she does not usually get to chase Angela when she sees her. Hopefully I can keep it that way.
What? That's Angela. Good girl. That's so good.
Now, we talked about this. It's interesting how sometimes Veronica will display kind of more intense fear, and other times she's got this like super confidence. It's extreme contrast at times. This is actually kind of common with puppies, and there's a reason.
She's acting more nervous on this walk than she has so far. And I don't know if it's because it's nighttime or if it's nothing about that at all. But yeah, see? She's trying to climb on me. It's okay. It's normal. What are you nervous of? You want to go see something? You want to go check it out and see what it's like? It's just the world. All right, let's go check it out. Come on. Good girl.
It really can throw you off, because it's like, man, yesterday you were totally fine and now suddenly you're scared of like a bike that's parked with not even a person attached to it.
So I'm letting her check it out at her own pace. Which is, you know, moderate.
Interestingly, as dogs are growing up from puppyhood, they encounter fear periods, basically. And these are periods of time where they're trying to, I guess, make sense of the world.
Yeah, it's actually a normal stage of development for dogs. The hypothesis that I've heard for this is that as the dogs get more capable, more mobile, and so they're not like these goofy puppies anymore, they can actually run out and explore the world more. They also have this natural extra skepticism that is sort of supposed to help keep them alive, because otherwise they'd be out just like eating everything and jumping off of every cliff, because puppies are crazy.
So yeah, these fear periods actually have an evolutionary advantage, it sounds like.
And the times do vary slightly, but of course, they also usually overlap with that critical socialization period. That makes it an even bigger thing. It's really important to just take your puppy's actual feelings into account and be patient with them.
What do you think? It's a bike. Have you ever smelled a bike before? Maybe not.
After a few minutes of investigating this totally stationary bike that she encountered, Veronica decided it was no big deal after all. She got some happy zoomies for a second. I feel like that's a victory sign. But then almost immediately, the path of her zoomies took her into another thing that scared her, which was a tree.
Let's go see it. Come on, it's okay. It's just a tree. It's this tree.
A tree like any other tree that was just standing there, but this one freaked her out.
Seriously?
Yes, fear period, I'm telling you.
I didn't even see that.
This is a tree she's definitely seen before, like yesterday, and been totally fine with. But today,
Oh, is that a tree? Let's go see it.
so I let her check out the tree as much as she wanted to. She took a lot less time with this one than the last one, so hopefully that's a good sign. I really want her to be as brave as possible. We have some big plans. Zoomies, again. I think that's a success. Well, mostly. She wants to take one last look at the tree, but I think she's just making sure it's staying put. She doesn't really seem nervous anymore.
Veronica and her tree nemesis, now friends. Good job. Whoa, easy.
She's doing a great job on leash for the most part. She does pull a lot sometimes. So I don't know. But right now she's doing great. There's a bench. What do you think of that?
As long as we can keep this up and prevent anything too scary from happening to Veronica, I think she's on her way to being much more confident as she grows up.
That's just a garbage can. We did it.
Of course, there might be such a thing as too confident.
This is a constant distraction that we have at this house, which is great for dog training. We get a lot of dogs walking back there. Another issue that we have continued and will likely continue to work on with Veronica is barking at other dogs when she sees them. I mean, she's social. She seems to recognize dogs.
Yes, she definitely recognizes them. So when she does this, I just try to show her that there are better ways to express her emotions than just like shouting at dogs in the distance.
And how do you do that, Bree?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I wish that a dog trainer could help me with that.
I wish someone would write a book about that.
Yes, or two.
Links below. And okay, why don't you go ahead and call her? Just be animated.
Come here! Help! Yay! Come on, all the way.
Okay, that's all right. You don't have to.
Why it's not working? It was working so well before.
I mean, you got to admit that's a solid effort by Bree. But despite our best efforts, puppies, especially young and inexperienced puppies, do not always behave as we wish they would when we guide them and direct them. Yes. So desensitizing, you're working to condition her to pay attention to you, because you did get her attention back eventually, you know?
Yeah, it's frustrating though, because it's like you normally pay attention to me.
Oh,
Why not now?
welcome to having a puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little messy, it's not that effective, it can be frustrating, all of that, and that's completely normal. As you start to train your dog, you start to gain traction, and things start to work out. Just know that you are far from alone in those moments where things seem extra challenging.
Yes, very far from alone.
We're gonna take a free walk with both of the dogs for the first time, so this is pretty historic. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. Bree has Veronica, I have Inertia. What could possibly go wrong? I love how tiny she is. You can barely even see her. Is that what they call it?
They do.
They call it a sniffari?
Yeah.
And yeah, I hear those of you saying you're gonna let her get away with that pulling, or she's wearing a harness which encourages her to pull. That's a big one we hear all the time. Not true, by the way. It's not the harness that causes a dog to pull. I mean, dogs are going to pull because they want to get to something, not because they're wearing some special device. In reality, the reason we use harnesses, particularly with puppies, is because they're very young, they're very fragile, and we want to take their health and safety into account.
Yeah, it puts the least pressure on their most sensitive areas.
That's right. And so even if it did encourage them to pull, which it doesn't, it would still be safer for them. I mean, right now it's far more important for her to explore things.
She's having so much fun.
I see that. Yep, now we're getting the spontaneous zoomies. Oh, we got a dog. Veronica does seem a little bit unsure of the dog that's behind the fence in the distance, but Bree is able to get her attention back on the walk pretty easily before she escalates into a bigger reaction. So that's a really good sign, but I wouldn't be overly confident about that because we are trying to minimize reactivity to the best of our ability with a puppy. We're trying to prevent reactivity with her, which sometimes you can do and sometimes it's tougher to do. Isn't that right? I'm not naming any names or anything. I think our first free walk with the family was pretty good.
Me too. She's pulling though.
We've learned that we have a lot of work to do with this puppy. She's come to the right place. I think we need to take this advice we got from Fuzzy, continue to socialize her around lots of things in our house and in our environment.
Yes, there's a lot more to do.
And if you guys want to try Fuzzy, free 7-day trial, go to yourfuzzy.com/Zak. I'll have a link below. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Check out both of my books. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel because our next few episodes are... I don't know what's going to happen in our next few episodes, if I'm being honest. So we're going to see you in the next video.